Oh, I've just been on Bricklink again, guys, and I bought another load of minifigures. I definitely have a minifigure addiction, but I think I've solved it. Not the minifigure addiction, that is, but how to actually store them all. So I thought I'd show you a couple of ways in which I store and display minifigures, and maybe it can help you guys out in how to display your minifigures. Hey guys, Chris here, aka bricknit, and if you're new to the channel and like watching awesome LEGO videos, and how about giving us a subscribe? But anyway, let's get into the video. So, I have been collecting hundreds and hundreds of minifigures this year. As you guys know, I do a worst to first of the CMF series collections, and now I started storing those on Ribba frames, which I'll show you in a second. And also I've got quite a big collection of Star Wars minifigures, which are kind of starting to topple over, and I've got areas of where to display and show those. So I think I found an idea of how to display my CMF series ones as well as some of the others. So how about I show you what I've been doing and how I've been displaying them, and maybe that'll give you some ideas on how to display your minifigure collection. So first up is this, which is actually from Brick Vault. They did a video a couple of years ago on how to display minifigures. This is a brick, basically a brick built stand where you can just display all your minifigures. So I've done this in my Star Wars ones because I do love how they all look together. Now I do have certain sets that have the minifigures displayed with them, but I think this is a great way to collect, maybe showing your Clone Wars collection. You know, I've got quite a lot of troopers over there or something like that. So this is a great one, so go and check out their video if you haven't already. I'm not going to show you how to build this because this is theirs, so I don't want to steal their property. But these are quite great. You can add to them as you build your minifigure collection, but it does get very expensive because it's around, you know, like almost £20–30 per 16 minifigures, so it can really do add up to your minifigure collection. If you want to spend your money on minifigures, then it's probably not the best way to do it. So that's one way. Another way is actually underneath here, where I actually display the minifigures with the sets. So, you know, Ahsoka's there with the 501st Battle Pack, and that looks quite a nice little scene. So you can definitely display your minifigures with them, but it doesn't show your massive collection. Obviously, the more and more figures, that whole section there only has 5 minifigures, so, well, 6, 7 minifigures, I suppose. But it's not enough if you're thinking about how many you can store here just on one shelf. Another idea of showing one of the minifigures is like the Harry Potter ones here. I kind of got them all nicely laid out, and they do look pretty cool in their school uniform. But again, it's not the best way to really display minifigures as a whole. So if you guys watched some of my earlier LEGO videos, this was my original LEGO YouTube studio. I've obviously moved up to the attic recently, but this room is still getting redone. As you see, I've still got some figures and stuff here, but this is a remnant of my old collection of figures and how I used to display them. These are Ikea Ribba frames, so if I show you a closer look, you can see how these are done. So a lot of people make these themselves, but basically what they are is they're just the glass of the Ikea Ribba frames, and they've got Lego pieces inside to hold them up. Some of them are quite nice. I've got these ones from Etsy where they've got the names underneath, and some of them don't have the names, but they still look pretty cool. But these are all from the same person, and I think these are really cool. But again, this is only displaying 16 per one of these. So here we have a couple of the Disney series, a couple of the series 19 and 17 and stuff, and it already takes up a massive space on the wall. So this is only really technically 9 series if there was 16 per one. At the most, I mean, some of them are only like 4 because I liked how they were displayed. But if you think that was 9 series, you're not really going to get much room out of all the minifigures if you think we've got like almost 30 series or something going on at the moment. So this really wasn't a good way to do it with the amount of minifigures that I'm collecting over the space of, you know, a year. Okay, so I've shown you a couple of ideas how I actually display minifigures, but I haven't really shown you any of my CMF ones, because as I said, that was 9 of them and it took up a lot of space, and if I wanted to collect every single CMF series, they're going to keep adding up. So Mrs. Bricknit's allowed me to put them in the dining room because I don't have the headroom in my attic to do these ones. Now, this was an idea first shown to me by Brickclicker. If you haven't seen his channel, go and check him out. He's a great YouTuber. This is a glass shelving cabinet from Ikea. I'll put a link to it in the description down below if you want to get it. But this is also lighter from Ikea. I wouldn't recommend this. This is not long term. But as you can see, you can easily open to get into your display and check out all your minifigures, which is really cool. Now, this comes with 3 glass shelving. I've only got 2 in at the moment, but it's quite nice. But as you can see, there's a lot of room in between the minifigures, so it's not the greatest for displaying minifigures as it is. However, I found a solution to that on eBay. Okay, so how do you solve the massive gap? Well, actually, it's with a guy on eBay. A couple of people that sell these, and it's these here. Now, this is blue just because it has a film over it, but these are acrylic display shelves, but they're not glass, they're a bit lighter. But these are display shelves, and if you know how the Detolf shelving works, these are on metal sections, but you can't do that, obviously. You can't add any more, which is a bit annoying, but he actually makes these, which are little 3D printed brackets, which you then screw into place, and you can actually have them as another row. So if you look at the minifigures behind me, at the moment, that is 5 series per shelf. Okay, so with the addition of these 3 shelves, that gives me 6 shelves, including the base, which is another, basically a platform you can put it on, which is 7, within the glass, which stops dust and things. That would be 7 shelves. Now, with how I've done it at the moment, that means I can fit 5 series per shelf. So that's 35 series, which you don't even have yet. So I think that's a pretty good going to fit 5 series per shelf, 35 series in one cabinet. And I do have enough room to fit another one of these shelving units in here, so that's technically 70 series of minifigures in a kind of small space in the house. So I think I've nailed where I'm going to store my CMF series. So I'm going to install these and I'm going to start putting the ones up, and then I'll show you what they look like. Okay, so this is the first glass shelf, and this one is the shelf that's acrylic. So what I've seen slightly different is you can see there is a green tint on the glass ones, whereas on the ones that come from eBay there isn't a green tint. So see how they look when all the minifigs are on. Also notice that this one is slightly not as long, so you can see it kind of goes to here, whereas the glass ones do go a little bit longer. But other than that, it's not too bad. And yeah, these are the printed connectors. They look okay. I think from a distance, definitely you can't really tell that it's got anything IKEA on them, so it's pretty cool. So I think I might start put some of the series 1 up here and things, and getting them all displayed, and then I'll put the other shelving on and show you what it all looks like. So after about an hour, you can see that I've started to actually put them in order. So we have series 1 here, 3 and 4 here, and I want to then go and get 2 and 5, so I know they're missing. Then I have none from the shelf, and then only Simpsons series 2 from here. So I'm doing them in year order. And then we have some of the Simpsons series here again, series 2, series 14 there, series 15, the Disney series 1. And then as you can see, I've started getting these. I do have a lot more of these further down, with obviously Harry Potter there. So I'm going to finish this off video, but I want to show you, I think this is the new way, because as you can see now, I'm going to be able to have at least 35 series of minifigs in this one display cabinet, so it's going to look absolutely awesome. So that's it, that's the new way in which I'm going to start displaying my minifigures. As you can see, I can get at least 35 series in that one cabinet. And if I've got another cabinet, that's 70 series, which is definitely going to keep me going for a long, long time. I've started arranging them so they're going to be in order, and I think that's going to be really cool, because after each worst to first series, what I'm going to start doing is putting them in order, and I'm going to actually put them on display so the good ones are actually at the front. So the ones that we voted for, 1, 2 and 3 will be at the front as it goes further back. So we'll get a really nice, cool looking display of all the minifigs in the kind of the best ones at the front. So then I'm going to show after each worst to first, basically the entire collection, so you can see it slowly growing over time as we complete the entire series. It's pretty cool. So if you like to see any more minifigure videos, I've got a playlist up here which is all the worst to first that we've already collected. I haven't done all of those minifigs that I've got actually as worst to first, so let me know in the comments down below if you want to see some of them, like Harry Potter series 2 I haven't done. There's a couple like series 13 and 14 and things like that that I haven't done yet that I do have. So if you want me to do those, let me know. But other than that, if you haven't already, please subscribe. It really definitely does help out. And if you like to watch any awesome LEGO videos, I pretty much do one every single day on this channel. Other than that, have an absolute awesome day. If you enjoyed the vid, then if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, as it really helps out the channel. And as always, keep bricking it.